Hello. What's up, everyone?
Hey there.
Happy
What's up, dogs?
Sunday.
Oh shit.
I've been losing track of the days of the week all throughout the week.
Me too, man. I've been having a hard time figuring out what day it is. It's not
Yeah,
easy.
when it was Friday, somebody in my chat said Happy Friday Junior, and then it made me think it was Thursday, and I was thinking that the whole day, and then somebody had to remind me it was Friday. It's been a rough week, you know.
Friday
here.
Junior. That's a weird way to call Thursday. Kind of like
That's
it.
the name of one of my songs. Not plugging it. I'm just saying that Friday Junior is an alternative way to. It makes Thursday. It's like it hypes it up, you know, because everyone's always hyping up Friday, but we need another hype day. All right.
It's pretty
So let's get
creative.
excited about Friday coming up,
Friday
and then we
Junior.
get excited about Friday. Yeah.
I mean, right now Friday is like every day, so or Saturday is every day.
Yeah.
Technically. Well, welcome to the second Metabreakers podcast. It's worked out the first time. We're back again.
Yeah.
Yes. Today is gonna be a good day, guys.
Yeah. So I guess I'll lay out kind of the brief, like, marks of where we're gonna be covering. We have, of course, with the most recent changes, we have like, what is the meta looking like? You know, we have a couple days, or at least like a week until the new expansion drops, right? So there's gonna be this small period, of a different meta than what we've just previously had because of the Hall of Fame cards. Then we're gonna talk about some of the early access to streamers. Following that, we've got the not battle pass. What is it called?
The
Draco?
Tavern Pass for Battlegrounds.
The Tavern Pass, yes. After that, you know, we are going to talk about some of the new free decks, and then we're going to wrap up with some of the theory crafted decks by our boy Funky Monkey. And that's kind of the brief layout of what we'll be covering today in this particular podcast, brought to you by me, our boy D-Money, our boy Draco.
Us.
Beautiful. All
So,
right.
start us off.
Yeah.
D-Money, you with the meta. What are we seeing? What's going on out there in the streets?
Oh man, it is not that enjoyable for me. You know, I've just been queuing up against Control Warrior, some more Control Warriors, some Res Priest. It's really not a good time. It's like everybody's playing. It's still kind of like the same thing as last week, where everyone's playing like the same 4 decks or so. At least that's how it is in High Legend. But now with the return of Dr. Boom, it's everybody is playing Control Warrior. There's people getting to number 1 with it, so now it's getting more traction, and it's not enjoyable to play against. I'm sure it's fun to play, I think, but
What's that wrong? Is it fun to play?
I mean, I absolutely love playing Control Warrior. It is my favorite deck of all time. It's my favorite archetype. Those of you who've been following me a while, you guys know that it's kind of my jam. The thing, so I will give Control Warrior one sort of like I don't like, and that's Archivist. I think Archivist is like one of the worst design cards to ever be introduced into Hearthstone, because there's no reason to extend the card is only played in one situation. That's fatigue versus fatigue, right? Or like when the match goes on, that wrong. And then to extend the match for a player through 10 cards added to their deck, which are just all random, I think is like so poorly designed. Like the card, no other use other than just to win the fatigue mirror, which no one wants a third. Like even I like 20-minute games, 25-minute games. Those are okay, but playing like a 35-minute game that comes down to who runs Archivist, who doesn't, like that's terrible.
I was telling D-Money about this on Twitch like a day ago or so, but I beat a Control Warrior playing that list on turn 39 with a rogue. And I did this by Ethereal Lackey into Dragon's Horde, into discovering Camelios, into copying his Archivist Elysiana right when I fatigued. So that gave me the sustain to actually continue going to eventually find enough Dragon Queen Alexstrasza's to win the game. So it was just a ridiculous situation.
That's like the only way that you'll win that matchup too.
Yeah, like that's pretty ridiculous, and I'm surprised you weren't my opponent. Like that's the shit that happens. That's the shit that happens against me. Yeah, so I'm not a fan of running Archivist.
Elysiana could definitely go. I mean, I feel like Control Warrior was fine before. They didn't really need Dr. Boom coming back. Like I've been saying it all the time now. Like they removed the card for a reason, and now
But
they
they
brought
didn't
it back.
actually remove it.
Okay, it was basically removed by being at 9 mana, but they nerfed the card for a reason, and the fact that they bring it back when we're so close to getting these new cards, like the meta's been so bad, and now they just I think it got even worse. Like I don't know why they don't care about standard that much right now. I mean, I guess they're just like, yeah, we have a week left. I guess we'll just.
They'll throw it in
It's
the
like when they
air.
brought. It's like when they brought back Evolve. Like, what are you thinking? Like, this is not. I thought they would have learned their lesson, but
Just to clarify, the reason this
tilted.
stresses D out is because he's doing the qualifiers this weekend. So the meta that exists right now is highly important in D's world because he has to play with it no matter what it is. I mean, in the long run, it's important that Dr. Boom is 7 mana for Wild. That was like the whole point, right? To make it so it's playable for Wild. But
Yeah.
in this weak overlap, like I don't care. But then again, I'm not playing Masters qualifiers. Like if that would probably piss me off. So I understand where you're coming from.
I mean, it's not even. It's honestly not even the tournaments. It's just unenjoyable for me to climb standard ladder right now. Like I really don't mind it in the tournaments because if I really don't want to play it, I can ban it at least. But like every single ladder game is just control warrior, and you have to be if you're not playing a specific deck, then it's so difficult to have a chance to keep up with all the value that they're going to get. Like even me playing Reno Mage, which has been that used to be my best matchup, control warrior. Now if they get Dr. Boom out on 7, it's pretty hard to win that matchup. Like it's pretty unwinnable.
And you think the 2 turns, like it skews the matchup that hard? So for chat, for
Honestly.
those of you unfamiliar with Boom, he didn't return. He was once 7 mana when he came out. He got nerfed to 9 mana, and then recently with the Hall of Fame changes, he went back to 7 mana. So for those of you who are just tuning in, you're not sure about the Dr. Boom changes. So 2 mana difference, and you think that skews the mage matchup like that hard? That's that 2 mana.
I think it really does because that's like an important time for Reno Mage too because they're getting their Pocket Galaxy off and everything. So
especially
now,
if they get the armor hero power and can do it in the same turn. That's
yeah, it's just
so
that armor
huge.
building up over time now. Getting those 2 extra turns to get the armor. Like one of the ways that we win that matchup is just playing Alexstrasza on their face, killing all their armor, playing Alexstrasza, and then just beating them down. But now it's like, why am I considering running Shield Breaker or Plate Breaker?
I was about to say,
yeah.
Are you actually considering playing Mr.
A little
do
bit.
Remove?
Don't do it, man.
I really don't want to, but
That's a whole card spot, man.
I know.
At least they can't discover as many of Devastators now. And what was the other thing that they used to do that was super annoying? Where they did the 10 mana attack thing, and there was something else that is no longer. And they're not doing the Brewmaster, so that you don't have to so they threw it back in again. So it's less degenerate than it once was, right? Like optimism.
Yes, a little bit. Still very annoying though. Not a fan.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's very similar to Priest, right? Like Priest is very. Some people I have fun playing the deck, but I literally hate playing against a Priest. Like I feel like it's terrible, and we're seeing a lot of Priests because of the.
It's better
shift.
now.
Yeah, I mean,
I've lost
Priest
to it
got
a
a lot
lot.
of stuff.
Yeah, I think it's better. I don't think it's good enough. Still, it's like almost good enough, but I think Rogue is just too good for it to be good enough. And actually, Warrior is if you queue up against a Warrior with Highlander Priest, I don't think you have a shot at all.
What? You
Is
don't
that a
think I
bad
have a
matchup?
shot with my Highlander Galakron Control Priest against a Warrior?
No,
Really?
wait, are you memeing me? Wait, what?
No, I'm being dead serious. I think if I played against a Warrior with my Highlander Galakron Control / Dragon Priest, I would do just fine.
You're making this sound like a meme when you say it like that.
I play Seance. If they want to play Archivist, I play Seance. Or I have Madame Lazul.
Seance is actually, yes, that's actually good.
Yeah, so I've teched in Seance for the Control Warrior, and I also have Madame Lazul. So
The
I
steel
think
cards
Priest
are
actually,
interesting.
I think it actually is not as bad of a matchup as you think.
Murazan, their boom.
That can
No,
make it
yeah,
better.
and then I play
think
the
it's still
Dragon to
rough,
copy
yeah.
their boom. Even though I think Galakron, the Priest Galakron, is stronger than Boom because the Warrior Dr. Boom, you know, armor we don't care about really because it's not that big of a deal. Tempo is the big deal, and the Priest Galakron makes minions, and a lot of the Priest minions it gives you are actually pretty sizable, surprisingly. And the hero power 1-for-1 doesn't kill a Priest minion, which means they have to use more cards, and eventually they run out of cards. That's what I've seen. I played about 20 games with it so far, and
Okay.
that's what I'm getting to. Sorry,
I mean,
this was a
Priest-
tangent, but
No, Priest did get some new minions, which are now in the pool for Galakron, for the Galakron effect. So I mean, I just played against a Res Priest in a tournament today, and he pulled out Natalie Celine off of his Invoke, which was pretty annoying.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
so
that's
there's
rough. That's rough.
yeah, Priest has a lot of new things. I think it's definitely in a better spot. I don't know if I don't think it's the top deck at all, but
Nah.
it's like it's got to be like pushing tier 2 right now. I
Yeah.
think.
Did you see Zephyrs and how Natalie Celine was interacting with it? How it was like prioritizing that as an 8
Over
drop
Zephyr or over Tyrion, I think.
over
right?
Tyrion and over Twisting sometimes. Like, so people are not loving her as the option with the way
Oh,
Zephyrs
God.
thinks right now.
It gives it to me every time.
It
when-
does give
if
it a
they have-
lot.
If they have at least one minion on the board, it's going to offer you Natalie Celine for no reason.
It's
It
not
doesn't
that
matter what
good.
size it is.
I'm sorry. I don't
It's
think it's
not.
that good. Like, I don't
No,
want it
it's
from my
not.
Zephyrs.
There's like
No.
barely ever a situation where it's good. There has to be something. They have to code Zephyr, so it's like if it has
No.
like a certain amount of health, like maybe like 8 health or something, the one minion they have. I don't know.
I mean,
It's
every
never
time-
really-
every time they make new cards or like change cards, Zephyrus seems to get worse. They like forget to code in the changes of the cards they just rotated out and cards they rotated in for him not to interact in appropriate manners. I mean, this has happened like before, right? This is not the first time that Zephyrus has been treating us very poorly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it goes to this. I think right now though, Zephyrs is like at his worst. That he's been in a long time. Like the things that it's been giving me and the things that I've been wanting like are just not happening. I think now he hates Mass Dispel even more than he ever did. He just doesn't give it to you now. Even when you win the game with it. I don't understand. But
Yeah, Mackie and Chad is actually bringing up a good point about Shadow Word Ruin from Zephyrs, because now that's a thing. So that's been changing a bit of the thing. It's been changing how you play with Zephyrs. You can set them up differently. You can use up more of your mana, because usually you might be going for like Twisting Nether, but now all you may need is the Shadow Word Ruin, which is 4 mana. So it's actually a big change there. Along with Holy Smite for 1, that allows you to deal with some early game stuff. So sometimes if a hunter's playing the Phase Stalker against me on turn 2, then I could play Zephyrs. I could maybe coin with Zephyrs to get Holy Smite and take care of it, which is really nice because didn't want to have to Lightning Bolt that in the past. So just some note.
yeah, I mean, how different is it that we don't get overloaded for that same value now? I mean, I think I would never have used Zephyrs for the Lightning Bolt most of the time because I'm afraid of overloading the crystals most of the time.
That's exactly.
I mean,
That's a
the
big
earlier
difference.
in the game that you overload, the more impactful it is because the higher percentage of the crystals you have available, right? So if you overload with 2 mana, that's half your mana. But if you overload at 10 mana, you still have 90%. So
Yeah, that's a big deal. That's definitely a good point. But yeah.
do we want to move into our kind of first topic here for the transition of the early access for streamers to the expansion, or do we want to elaborate more on the meta?
About the meta. I feel like we covered it pretty good because we're in this weird teetering point that we're at right now. Going too in depth seems like it might be a little bit more redundant than normal since it will all be gone in a week.
Well,
I'm good with moving on. Yeah.
Well, we could actually, with the new meta upcoming, Demon Hunter obviously going to be a big part of that, right? We can make that like
Yeah.
the upcoming meta. We can assume that Demon Hunter, and then
Of course.
whatever is good against Demon Hunter is also going to be probably pretty
Priest,
popular.
yeah.
So, all right, moving to the early access stuff.
All right.
I've got strong feelings about this. Draco apparently has opposing feelings, so this should be interesting. And then D-Money, we'll start off with you. What did you think about the whole let's have a certain amount of streamers come out, they get to play with the new cards. Even some of the streamers aren't even Hearthstone exclusive guys anymore. They were just bigger content creators in general that could just pull more numbers, even though they haven't shown the dedication to Hearthstone
that is
that others.
I mean, if I talk positively about it, do you think they'll invite me to the next one, or?
I mean, this is. I mean, if anybody deserves to go, I mean, you play the most Hearthstone out of any of us here, and you play it the most competitively, and you're active in the community. So, I mean, you should. Your opinion should be quite valuable here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't like that they get to play with it early, but I mean, based on what I've seen, I mean, like you said, there are some players that got it that don't really play that much or play standard that much. A lot of like BG's players got it. So I wasn't really impressed with the decks that they made or how they were playing them. So it probably didn't go too much into depth with like theory crafting, but some other players, I know there were good players that did get to play with the cards early, and that does give them a bit of an advantage. Is it too much of an advantage? No, but it is kind of sad. I'd say just sad that they get to play before us. I understand that it's showcasing the new cards and everything, but I personally don't like it. I would like to play with them too at the same time. I don't think it's fair.
I agree with the fact that it's not fair.
Yeah. So
wow.
So for me, it has nothing to do with like competitiveness or like not even content creation wise of just like, these guys can obviously pump out videos way before any of us or, be able to show it to our viewers, but it's a sense of like meta discovery. The most exciting points in Hearthstone to me are the first 2 weeks of a new expansion or when a new update occurs. That's when the meta is the freshest. Everybody's experimenting. What goes with what? Nobody knows what's the best. There's a lot of discovery that happens in those first couple of days, which is really exciting for me as like, I like to think of myself as an okay deck builder. I'm not great, but I like exploring new decks and, how can we figure out a new combo with stuff. And like high level players and a lot of, YouTube guys being able to jump in there, see the new cards at the Hearthstone Summit. Like they already saw these cards before everybody else. They already started thinking about what decks they're going to build. They got to play with the cards early. So a lot of these decks like Firebats, for example, 95% win rate, Highlander, Demon Hunter deck, instead of someone actually like, having to like figure all that out in the first couple days, it's already there. It's already the first day. That's going to be a deck people slam on ladder and they are going to destroy everybody else who, wants to try to have, fun in the first couple days. Yeah. So that's my take on it. So like I understand like hype in Hearthstone and showing everybody the new cards is good, but like the discovery is also very good. Like this stuff being a mystery, it is good.
Yeah, sorry. It kind of throws us back to the last episode of the podcast when we were talking about creativity with like people making their own decks and getting to legend with their own decks that they've made themselves. It is just limiting the creativity of people, or like it's going to limit the creativity of players in general, because now they could just, like you said, like just copy whatever decks that these people made if that's what they want to do, which I'm sure there are a lot of people that will do that. So that is pretty sad as well.
Yeah. I agree with the fact that like, it's better for the community in general to not have that happen. And so with everything I'm going to say after this, let me just say that like, this is like my perspective in a vacuum. So I would rather it be the better thing for the whole community of Hearthstone players. Like it be completely fresh the day an expansion comes out. So I'm not saying that the things that are positive about this early access like nullify the fact that it's like bad in general. But if you're a person who likes to win a lot and you study these and watch these videos, you can get like a huge advantage over it. And I've watched these early access streams and used those to create the decks, and I can make such a more accurate assessment of everything that I'm like putting together for people to play ahead of time, just because I'm watching it. So from my personal perspective, it allows me to perform at a higher level the day that the expansion comes out, because I like watching them so much, and I enjoy watching them, even though it does kind of take away from that fresh
Yeah.
feeling on the original day. It's I still find them exciting, but yeah, I guess I do agree with you guys though, in the context where if it was super fresh for everyone on day one, then that would be kind of the dream.
You were supposed to disagree.
I know, but
What happened to your
I
disagreement? You were specifically telling me that you were going to disagree and not to get mad, and you're coming in here and agreeing. What is this shenanigans?
I was just
convinced
thinking
him.
about it, and some of D-Money's points were just so like they were just so good. You're right. Like I'm sorry, I got a little bit swayed process where I was like, you know what, I don't want to come out here and say like, you know, I like the early streamer access because I can kick more butt the day the cards come out, even though it screws over everyone's experience. Like that would be the most selfish take to have of all.
But that's
so.
your take, and you took that shit. You should have ran with it. Yes, I love this, because then I get to slaughter you, Warshack. While you're at rank 5 playing shit ass decks, I am playing tier 1 fucking applesauce, getting to legend day 1.
But even though Warshack mentioned it a bit, the Firebat 95% win rate, Highlander, Demon Hunter, it's really good. Since we mentioned it, you guys should just know that it's on Twitter. If you want to, if you want to kick a lot of butt on day one and play something pretty refined, so
Yeah,
it's
I
there.
purposely made sure not to watch any. I watched like maybe a minute of some gameplay, like just to see like maybe the all spell mage, just to see how memey it was for a little bit. But I did not want to watch any of it. I didn't want to see any spoilers. I want it all to be fresh for me. I don't know about you, Warshack, but I was containing myself that day to just not open any of those streams.
Yeah, I didn't watch, I didn't participate, I did not actively view or indulge in any information provided by any stream, social media site, or anything like that.
That's so much discipline. Oh my god, like
It is.
I'm impressed.
I still don't even know all the cards that are out, to be honest. There's still
Okay,
people like,
well-
Rob, what do you think about this card? I'm just like, I don't even want to see this. I'll see it on day 1 and I'll be really excited to see it then. I'm done.
That's
just
a lot
don't.
of discipline right there. Yeah. Okay. I don't think I could do that. But
I'm impressed either way. I mean, so overall, our take is early access bad, but good in a small vacuum.
Well, I'm sure it's good for the company because it probably gets more pre-orders. Like,
yeah,
you know
that's
what I
I'm
mean?
saying.
As
It
like
does
as
for-
a company, they wouldn't do this if it didn't produce some sort of revenue versus not doing it, right? The whole point of a company, especially Blizzard, is to make money at the end of the day.
That's
Like-
probably a great thing to lead into our next segment, honestly.
Oh
I mean-
yeah, that's a good segment. Damn, I'm good.
Look-
All
look at
right.
this
Wait, actually,
transition.
wait. Sorry, wait.
No waiting.
So,
Moving.
back.
I'm just kidding.
I'm thinking that maybe it would be more acceptable if they just opened it up to more people to play early access, but then people that are non-streamers
no.
are gonna feel pretty bad. Never mind. Let's go on to the next topic.
more people exploring more decks, getting more meta
'Cause it's
before
unfair.
the meta
It's
even is
unfair.
defined.
Yeah.
We're going down the rabbit hole. We're not making our way out here, dude.
What if they pick the same amount of streamers, but ones that actually play ladder, like with cards, instead of just Battlegrounds all the time? Like, so it's people doing what they normally do with their cards instead of people
Yeah.
that never play it.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
good idea, right?
I mean, that's good. I mean, if they want to give it to me, I'll take it. But I don't know. I just don't like the whole thing overall. We're on to the next one. Fine.
All right, so I am not a big Battlegrounds player. For me, I played the first, I think, week or two it was out. I made top 200 when top 200 was 5,500 MMR, and then I kind of lost interest because I'm gonna play an auto battler. I'm gonna do TFT. So this is for you guys more than me because you guys, I know you play this a little bit, D-Money. So this whole tavern pass thing, what are we thinking?
I love Battlegrounds. Like I like standard as well, of course. I think I like standard more, but Battlegrounds is like you can't really compare the two because it's like two totally different games, right?
I love it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's a nice, fun game to relax with. I mean, if you're trying to get to the higher level, you do have to focus quite a bit. You have to be always being observant of what the other people have, what kind of comps they have, what their lineups consisting of, like what order they have their units in. Um, don't know how I feel about the pass that they have here. So what does this pass include? Can you break this down for me, Draco?
Yeah, absolutely. D-Money. So this pass right here, it is essentially, I believe it's $20. So you can spend $20 and then it gives you the 4 heroes instead of to choose from instead of 2. So it's a big deal. Like
I thought you could pick from 3.
you can pick from
Now it's
4 now. But if you don't have the battle pass, you can only pick from 2. So essentially, the battle pass
Oh.
it's either 2,500 gold or $20. So if you're only a Battlegrounds player, you're not going to get enough gold from just playing Battlegrounds in like a season. You know, like because the battle pass only lasts for the expansion. And
All right.
You can get. I mean, you have. It's every 4 months, right? Or 3 or 4 months? 4 months?
yeah,
That's a lot of time to accumulate 2,500 gold, even if you're playing just
3 wins are top 4s, right?
Yeah.
You get 10 gold for that, right?
Yeah.
How long do you think a normal Battlegrounds game is if you're going to get top 4? Probably like 30 minutes.
The average Battleground game for me is probably 30 minutes, yeah. If
So
you're lasting till then, yeah.
So an hour and a half, if you win all 3 of them, you get 10 gold.
That's so bad. So we're talking highest performance. We are peak Battlegrounds Hearthstone extraordinaire. We're top 3 every game. 20-minute games. It's going to take me an hour to accumulate 10 gold, and I need 2,500.
But
you know what?
Months.
This is a deal. Ship it. Ship it. Ship this shit.
Yeah, it's honestly not super. I mean, so there's the obvious thing where it's like Battlegrounds was given to everyone for free. And everyone plays Battlegrounds for free. And a lot of people play Battlegrounds that weren't originally playing Hearthstone, right? Like a lot of streamers and other players came back to Hearthstone to play the auto battler. But and Blizzard had been letting everyone do this for free. So it's kind of foolish for us to expect Battlegrounds to be still updated with any sense of priority if there wasn't a monetary value slapped onto it, because Blizzard's a company and their job is to make money. So this is something that we kind of should have expected. It makes sense.
It makes sense, but the whole thing about the 4 heroes and the 2 heroes, that's like that changes the whole entire game. That's the problem.
It's unpleasant probably with 2. And
it's
they said you don't get new ones. Yeah, you don't get new ones either. So you only get the older one. Like the
What? Wait, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
No. Is that a thing?
It is a thing.
I believe so. Here,
Yep.
I'm going to read through this with my limited reading abilities. I'm failing.
I'm like trying to read it on the stream before you.
No, yeah, I swear it mentioned that newer heroes, the Battle Tavern Pass, like you have access to the newer heroes first, and then like after a week or whatever they get out of beta or whatever they're calling that purgatory, then it's available to everybody. But what I was thinking about was like, you know, the access to only 2 heroes at the start of a game, which is all right. So for those of you who don't know Battlegrounds or you do play it, I think of it as like a mulligan phase, and just like a normal game of Hearthstone, right? You've got your selections, you pick your selection, right? And so you're going from basically a mulligan of being able to mulligan your entire hand to only being able to mulligan 2 cards in your entire hand. And if you want to mulligan your entire hand, you have to pay money because you're getting twice as many options.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. That's pretty messed up.
2 heroes to 4 heroes is very dramatic. Like if you just get 2 bad heroes, you literally are screwed pretty much. Like you have, of course you still have a chance, but like it makes the game dramatically harder. You have such an advantage if you have 4 heroes. So it's like not even, you can't even beat you can't be competitive if you don't have 4 heroes. Honestly,
Yeah, you can't really play it seriously.
that's kind of messed up. Like if you're gonna make transactional things in Battlegrounds, like make it like cosmetics or something. Like look at TFT. Don't they just have? I mean, Rob, do you play TFT?
I played a little bit of the new season of TFT. Yeah.
I've heard the counter
And-
argument for this, D, about the comparison to why Blizzards can't monetize theirs like TFT and sell like
Yes.
skins, because if you don't get to play like you're like let's say you have like a Sylvanas skin and you don't get to play her like until like one every 5 or 7 games, that's like you get to use your skin once every like 5 hours of playing Battlegrounds.
I mean, sure.
And what happens when they
but-
rotate it out? Like they're like, oh, no more Sylvanas. That means you're the
Yes, that's true, but it's still. I mean, they have to think about something else then. Like somebody had brought up. I think it was Frodan that said something about. He had mentioned to Blizzard that maybe they could do something with the arenas. Like maybe your board looks different than just a standard board. I know they have that in TFT as well.
yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, there should be like an emote pack that you could buy or something else. Like it shouldn't be that you have to pay to play, honestly. Like cuz you basically have to pay to play.
So I found what we were looking for before. Early access to the new Battlegrounds heroes, subject to the release schedule of new heroes, with the Tavern Pass right here.
So it does lock them.
Yes. So
That's like such a nice way of putting it, though. You know, like,
yeah. So if new heroes come out, they basically get the Battle Pass people get to play with them first. And
That's so dumb.
Those who do not pay that cash money, you get to sit in a corner.
if everyone stopped playing Battlegrounds, though, you guys know Blizzard would change this, though. Like, so if everyone kind of like united on this and was like, "This, I'm not gonna
I'm
play
still not gonna
Battlegrounds.
stop. I'm sorry.
Like, I'm not gonna pay for this battle pass. I'm just not gonna play this anymore because it's not free." Then they would probably do something to get people to come back. But it really comes down to like, are people gonna pay for it? Because if they
Yeah.
do, that kind of justifies like the whole thing, right?
I mean,
I
yes,
Go on.
but there's no way that everyone's just gonna stop playing it. It's so fun. Like, regardless of how many stupid actions that Blizzard makes, the game is fucking fun. I mean, am I allowed to curse on this podcast? I don't know. But
I mean, I have.
Yeah.
So
okay, cool. Yeah, I think it's just stupid. I don't see it's just the 2 to 4 heroes for me. But I mean, I have it just because I have the pass just because I bought the $80, the $80 bundle. But if I didn't buy the $80 bundle, I wouldn't want to spend $20 on this. I'd have to spend gold if anything, which I have enough gold. But I mean, I don't think I should have to pay for it.
Yeah,
That's
the Tavern Pass wasn't something the game developers put in this thing, obviously. This was something that their bosses were like, okay, now Battlegrounds cost $60 a year. Let's make money. That's definitely where it came from. So I don't even know who to be mad at about. Like,
yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, they needed to inject money somewhere into Battlegrounds, but I
Yes,
think
but
they
I
could have
don't-
done
I
it
don't-
more
yeah.
elegantly. I think it could have been more elegantly, like feels more rewarding, like limiting, like D-Money said, limiting choices, and
look
like
at how far we had to look to figure out how shicey it is too. Like, we had to like dig through the internet to figure out that you get your characters locked from you. Like, they're not upfront about it. You know? Like,
No, I had to go to this unicorn-looking website, out of cards, with this little, like playful unicorn thing, and I had to scroll down here.
I mean, like the one thing that they can maybe do is just give you more gold from Battlegrounds games. Like instead of the 10 gold for 3 wins, maybe it could be like 50 gold or 30 gold or something.
Or daily quests. Add in daily quests for Battlegrounds.
That would be cool.
Deal this amount of
like that.
damage, or like win or come in top 4 with a team that has 4 more mechs. I mean, I don't know. They can think
Yeah.
of something. If they can make
That
some
would be
cheesy tavern pass thing, you know, you can add in daily quests to Battlegrounds. And then
I
you get the
agree.
counter argument of, hey, there people are just gonna farm Battlegrounds and farm Hearthstone, and they're gonna get twice the gold and have twice the packs, and that means they're gonna have twice the decks, and they're gonna beat me because I'm ranked 20. You cap the amount of quests you can do at 3 quests per day. So if they're a Battlegrounds player and they switch back over, they don't have any Hearthstone quests. It says not available until tomorrow because you've completed your 3 quests for today. Job's done. Let's go home, boys. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also with like these other games like TFT, like when you buy a pass like that, you also get additional things, right? Like when you level up, you get more rewards and stuff like that. And like this, you don't get anything. You just get to play the game. So
It is a fun game.
that's all I'm gonna say about it. It is so fun.
It is fun.
I'm probably going to play it after this podcast. I'm not gonna as much as I shit talk it right now, I'm gonna be playing
Oh
it.
my god.
Probably gonna play it tonight too.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I mean, they could have done it more elegant. That's all you can say, but it's inevitable, right? This is kind of a believable circumstance.
Yes.
Oh yeah. You want to go into the next segment, guys? You want to talk about some of the free decks?
Yes.
What free decks? What are you talking about? What's that?
Well, hold on. Transition time.
All
No, I
we've
don't
been
need a
talking about is
transition.
pay to win. What? I get something for free?
So, for the returning players who have not played Hearthstone for 4 months or more and new accounts, this is your time to shine, and you don't even know it yet. You are, after doing, Draco mentioned a short tutorial quest journey. What was this?
Yeah, when you log back in, it's like, welcome back. You're a returning player. It'll tell you this, and you get a special quest, and you have to fight this weird, cool art version of Malfurion, and then you have to fight. There's like a whole bunch of Demon Hunter commentary going. Like you can tell it's new shit. Yeah, 3 games against an AI. They give you like this Cyclone Mage deck without Cyclones, and you just yeah, that's pretty much what you use. Like it's got like Magic Trick and Sorcerer's Apprentice, and then yeah, stuff like that in there. And then you just beat 3 decks, and then after that it's deal 65 damage to enemy players and play 100 cards. And after that you get to pick a deck.
And those decks include and are absolutely limited to a Treant Druid deck, a Quest Hunter deck, a Mage Ronaldo Highlander deck, a Paladin Garbage, Priest Resurrect, Rogue Mucho Powerful Ente, Shaman. I truly really enjoy the big Shaman decks, but it's pretty bad. And the Warlock deck, a Galakron Zoo Warlock, it looks like, and a Pirate Warrior deck for some reason. And those are the decks. They roughly, in dust value, are around the same pace at between 5,000 and 7,000 dust. I have crunched the numbers. And I guess first thing I'll hit off is if you're looking for best value, most you can get out, my opinion, Mage. Because you get Zephyrus and you get Dragon Queen, which are neutral legendaries, which you can go into any Highlander deck you build in the future.
It's really good value.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So you get this deck. Can you disenchant those cards?
Yep. It's just normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weird when you pick the deck too. I was telling DMoney and Warshack about this because it doesn't show you the cards. You see like the list of all of the of like the little avatar, the buttons with like the daggers or the staff for the mage, and you pick one and it's like, are you sure you want Reno's Riches? And you just say yes. Then you all of a sudden have the deck created in a deck slot. It's weird. You'd think they would show you the cards though. Like they just make you go into it blind. But if you guys have alts, it's really fun to do this. Like accounts that you haven't played in a long time that qualify for this that aren't at the 50 mark. Because if you make a brand new account, you have to climb from 50 to 25, right? But if you have an old account that existed before the 50 system and you log into that, you just get it. So
yeah, I was saying before that I might just make an alternate account right now just to get that free deck because I gave my last alternate account to my ex-girlfriend and I'm never getting that back. So
do we put a dollar value what we think these decks are worth if we were to like Like what is what is the value of one of these decks? Like 5,000 to 7,000 dust. I'm thinking this is like 30 to 50 bucks. Does
Oh
that
yeah,
sound wrong?
absolutely though. No, that's not wrong. That's
Yeah.
what it would cost to probably get enough dust to make that. Even if you got lucky picks, like you'd have to probably get one of the legendaries in the packs to be even close to make one of these.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, I
just
don't know
looking
how
at
much
Mage here.
Reno Mage costs, like the Reno Mage that I run, but I spent like $120 on Europe to make it, so I can, yeah, I'm assuming that this is probably decent value.
Yeah, that's so much money that we're getting for free. This is like so good for the game. It's really weird though if you do go back to these ranks and get the free deck, because once you go past 25, everyone's also playing the free decks, right? So it's like you're not getting matched up against anything else other than the free decks. So if you do, it's rare. Like I played like a whole bunch of Pirate Warriors today, a hell of a lot of those Reno the Riches when I was playing. A lot of that mage deck is the most popular thing now at rank 25.
I feel
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel so bad for whoever picks the warrior one. I don't.
Let's
that's
take a look
not-
at the warrior one. How bad we
It's not that
rocking
bad.
here?
It's just like a
doesn't-
straight aggro list, right?
Yeah, so we'll go down the list. A 1 mana, 2/2. We got 2 upgrades, an Ankar, 2 captains, Corcrons, Captain Greenskin, Raider's good. I mean, everything here is what I would play in a face warrior deck. Yeah, I mean, everything
Yeah.
looks like
It's just like
this.
you're not gonna really use those cards in like anything else, pretty much. That's the problem.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
these are basically exclusive pirate warrior cards.
Yeah.
There's no transcending this deck into like another like control warrior, tempo warrior, or bomb warrior, unlike mage, which a lot of the cards are neutral. So any deck that has a lot of neutral legendaries, a lot of neutral epics. I mean, I keep going back to this mage, but it's just so good for that. I mean, look what you get here. You get Doomsayers, right? You of course get the Zephyrus and whatnot, and the Dragon Queen. So I mean, it's a Scale Rider for any other dragon deck. I mean, you're just jam packed full of just yummy things.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
definitely do your research before claiming one of these free decks, just so you know exactly what cards you're going to be getting. It's like
You
Draco said, it's not going to show you.
Like I didn't pick the mage deck when I did this chat. So if you're looking, I wanted, my whole goal was to win as much as possible, as normal. And the rogue one, all it needs is flick. So
Yeah.
basically just adding flick to the rogue list, it makes it practically a tier 1 deck. So that's all
Yes.
you're really missing. And that's
Fair enough.
there's a lot of cards missing from the mage one that are in the ultimate printed one. So there's a lot of things you can add in there. Like I don't think it has like the new Maligos or like Luna's Pocket Galaxy or Luna, and I mean all of the rotating cards obviously are not in there, and some little extras. So this one is probably the closest to being complete as being a tier 1 deck. You just would have to do Galakron's Awakening to get the Boom Pistol Bullies, and then add in Flick, and it's done.
Yeah.
But that's
The question.
what's your question?
Hey, I mean, I think this is good just for the game in general. Good
Oh,
for
yeah.
new players, attracting new players. Getting people back into the game is really nice. It's nice to have like, because now I have a lot of people that come into my stream and they always say, I'm just getting back into Hearthstone. I have no idea what to play, what's good right now or whatever. I could just tell them to check out the free deck. I could just tell them about the free decks that they're gonna get. It's a nice thing to come back to. It's really good for the game. I'm happy about it. But I'm not happy that I don't get a free deck. Even though I have all the cards anyway, but extra dust would be cool, you know?
Yeah,
Agreed.
you'd think they'd reward players who have like continuously played the game, right? Like we get nothing for playing the game every day. Meanwhile, players who
Welcome
don't play
back
the
to
game,
hell.
here's $50. Come back, your wallet. We need. What is that credit card information? No, but I had a question. So, if you're picking a Galakron deck, don't we get Galakron and Kronks for free? So,
Not Kronks.
not Kronks. We get Galakron for free though.
Yes.
Do you still get Galakrons for free?
Yeah, it's weird because I know what Warshack I think was trying to ask, which is like how does the Galakron how do you obtain that when you get the free deck or whatever. But like the second I unlocked the deck, it gave me all those boxes like you did when you originally came out with Descent of Dragons. You open up all the Galacrons. So picking that deck forced that little cutscene with me opening all the Galacron. So
Roger Dodger.
was that what your question? I don't know.
Yeah, it was. I thought we just get Galacron for free anyway. So highlighting that if you pick this deck, you get Galacron, but they don't tell you that Galacron is a free card you get anyway. So they're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of sneaky. Like they added Galacron in like 3 decks, like the Warlock, the Shaman, and the Rogue. But it's like,
And
homies, we get this anyway.
Is that counting towards the dust totals that they're saying for those decks as well?
Yes, the dust
is,
total
yeah.
includes the Galacron.
Mm.
If you were to take the Galacron out, we'd be dipping in the 4K, 4.5K mark. No longer the 7K, 6K mark. So
That one's got
These guys-
Togwaggle though. It still has 3.
sneaky beavers, sneaky beavers.
That is
They
pretty
should have put Togwaggle on the picture because that's not one you get for free.
Exactly.
Yep, they're just showing you the most powerful cards, and just they're like, here's Edwin that we did in Hall of Fame, and then here's 2 other really good cards. Yeah.
Oh.
Does the Shaman one have another legendary other than that? Because they're giving you the other one that you get for
No.
Awakening. That's a really bad deal, right?
Yeah.
Because
Well,
you're
I think
getting
they gave you more epics.
that's still a bad deal. You get like what? Oh, you're getting Dragon's Pack and Witches and a single Witches brew instead, and then you get 2 free legendaries.
Yeah.
Like I guess you have to
Don't
pay
choose
for the
that one,
fist.
guys.
So yeah, don't choose the weird Galacron Shaman. Pro
Yeah,
tip.
don't do that. Yeah. And really, don't pick the Paladin one. Like, save yourself, save your family, save your kids.
It's
don't
funny.
pick the
There's no
Paladin one.
neutrals. You're getting only Paladin cards in the
You
whole
only get
thing.
1 legendary.
Oh, God.
You get 1 legendary. Oh.
But
yeah,
you get a
that's
micro
why they
bubble.
don't show you. That's why they don't show you the list in the game. That's why they don't.
Oh shit.
I have a
Yeah.
feeling Pure Paladin is going to be good in the upcoming expansion. But that's still a joke. You know?
Hey, Pure Paladin is not a joke. I recently have posted a 75% win rate from rank 5 to 2 with Pure Paladin. These are results.
But
Do you
choosing
purposely,
that
like-
is a joke, right? Like choosing
I swear to
this
God.
is a joke.
Oh yeah, yeah.
you
You don't
purposely-
choose this.
Do you purposely like go back to rank 5 just so you could get like a 75% win rate to rank 2, and then
I don't think there's a right answer to this. Because if I say yes, I look terrible, and if I say no, I'm bad.
just wondering,
Dude.
just asking for a friend. Yeah.
No, but rank 5, rank 4, rank 3, these people are fucking tough, dude. These people do some things I have never seen in my life. Yeah, it's incredible what these players will do.
Sometimes 5 to
I
Legend
can
feels way
imagine.
harder than Legend, honestly. I agree with what he's saying. Like sometimes I have way harder of a time getting there than when I do.
Yeah,
when
because you
there.
never know what you're gonna play against. That's the thing.
Well, they don't even know what they're playing, so how am I supposed to
pretty
even
much.
like, you know, come up with adequate decision making when they don't know what they're doing? So, oh shit. All right. Our next segment was the new decks, or the not new decks, the 21 decks that Funky had built. Is that something we want to move to, or
Yeah.
is there something else?
We're doing great on time today too. We're following it right on T. So go us.
Hell yeah,
Where
brother.
are we at?
54 minutes, 53 minutes, and 33
Beautiful.
seconds.
Oh yeah.
All right, yeah. So if you guys don't know the streamer Funky Monkey, that's Funky with an I at the end, and then Monkey with an I at the end. He had made a bunch of new decks. Warshack just posted in the chat there. He makes a lot of homebrew decks, so he makes all the decks himself, and he tries to be innovative. And he made a bunch of new decks. 21, you said? 21 decks?
21, I believe, 2 or 3, or no, 2 of each class, and then 3 with the Demon Hunter.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's 2 with every old class, 3 with the Demon Hunter.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's for, and when he was making them too, like he stayed up, and I remember watching him do this. He stayed up till like I think it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, just like going hard at like theory crafting all these things. So they're all
I mean-
pretty. Yeah, he was streaming a lot of it, and Yeah, he spent like I think he went on for like 8 or 9 hours in a row working on it. So
Mm-hmm.
some of them, one of the ones that I thought was notable was the token Demon Hunter one. That one looks like probably the best one I've seen built for doing that early on. If you look at like it's got the one demon that does like the Soul of the Murloc underneath of everything. I think it's Rustworn Cultist. Have any of you guys seen this card? Like if you go over to the right, Rob, it's a neutral.
Yeah, this guy right here.
It's
Yeah.
does Soul of the Murloc,
That's
but with demons.
That's exactly what I said in my guide. Yeah, it's it actually seems like a very good card in token, especially with like Bloodlust. Or I'm not sure if the card that transforms them into legendaries is staying, but that could be cool with that as well. I mean, something like a token druid should probably run it as well. It does seem strong. I don't
It's
know if you
like
need
better than
two of
Soul of the
them, but-
Murloc, and it's a neutral. It's kind of crazy. Like that's probably better than
well,
Soul of the Forest.
it doesn't give it to itself though.
Oh.
It is still very good though. Yeah. I mean, it's got decent stats as well.
So obviously the win condition with this deck is all in the Wrath Scale Naga. So that 3 mana 3/1 is pretty much like the combo that you do to win with this deck. So you
Yes.
fill up the board with boys, then you sacrifice them all.
Mm.
And feel like you're playing a game of Battlegrounds, but you win a constructed game.
Is this supposed to be getting me excited for the new expansion or no?
What do you mean? I
No,
think
I
it
just
looks
don't
pretty
like it.
fun.
I just don't like aggro kind of things, but yeah, this does. I like that he was able to make a bunch of decks so that, I mean, he made them pretty early too. If you guys want to check them out, totally should. I really haven't checked them out too much. I'd be interested to look more into it. He's definitely giving people a lot to think about here.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to make some early decks and stuff too, but it's hard to find a place that's better than this list that we got right here. So I figured it was pretty relevant to share with everyone, you know. But
Yeah, it looks like a pretty decent starting point.
what are you guys gonna play as your first deck in your head right now? Because I know what I want to. What are you guys mentally thinking about doing as the first thing when Ash of Outlands come out? What do you want to play?
I'll let Warshack go first.
Okay. Well, is this Demon Hunter exclusive or is this in general? Like
No, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're most excited about.
Well, as a content person, I'm going to be playing Demon Hunter. And I'm going to, of course, play a control variant that is not Highlander, and then a control variant that is Highlander, probably first. Those will be my first two targets, and then after we refine that, we'll make our way down through the mid-range, you know, the tempo, the aggro, and then probably last do token.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Demon Hunter content's probably gonna be oversaturated. So maybe
people are gonna eat that shit.
I mean, they're
gonna
love
gorge.
It.
They're gorging,
right,
dude. It's gonna be a feast. Some might even say a feast of souls.
There are gonna be a lot of Demon Hunter videos on April 8th coming out. Let's be real. The day after the expansion drops, there's gonna be like every streamer is gonna have a Demon Hunter video.
Yeah, I was gonna say you said Demon Hunter, and then what else were you gonna play after that?
Oh, after Demon Hunter?
Yeah.
Probably Warrior. For no apparent reason at all.
That Bulwark shield looks fun though. That looks like pretty cool for playing Control Warrior. I like the shield for it. I think it'll be fun.
And you have that card, Warshack?
The Prime is sick too.
So yeah, the shield was one of the earlier ones they went over, which I was following that, and it's you can only take 1 damage like max, right? And it takes off 1 durability.
You don't take any damage for it. It soaks it all up with the durability.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So with that, I think it's going to be a card we actually hold on to the later stages of the game when a deck, as we know, like Demon Hunter or Mage, can do burst. So it's not just going to be playing it and then not take damage for a couple turns. It's going to be like holding it. All right, turn 10, turn whatever we know they have a lot of their combo in their hand. I'm going to play this because I know as the warrior I can wrap this game up in this amount of turns based on how much value I have. So I like that card a lot.
That's actually a good point. That is a way, because I did say the other day that it was like impossible to play around the Demon Hunter card that gives everything that ignores taunts, and that's actually an interesting counter to that. I like that.
Yeah, but if it's like one of these token builds, like below, it won't be. It would have to be like kind of like one of those
Wow.
Highlander ones, like we were talking about
Right.
earlier. Like, but I guess it just depends on what is the meta for Demon Hunter. If the shield counters it, you know.
It's true.
And then if it really does a good job, we play the card that brings back a weapon, and we have another shield.
That could be so annoying.
Steals the weapon.
That sound annoying? All right, that's on the books. Then.
That sounds powerful. Like if you bring two of those things that bring back something, that bring back your weapon, and like maybe like greenskin, and you just like only run bulwark, and you go through 3. Like 12 durability of that would just not be fun for anything.
And now you have the card to draw a weapon and give it +1/+1 as well.
Oh
yeah, you have a tutor. Yeah. Yeah, that build is actually totally doable. Like, because if you have a tutor for it, you could run 2 of the tutors and only have the 1 weapon in there, and then just basically just get it endlessly. Wow. Interesting.
Thank you for convincing me.
It sounds horribly broken, and I like it actually. The no damage warrior. That's probably going to be the name of it, right? Like
that's a fantastic title. Take no damage warrior. Unbeatable.
The unbreakable.
The unbreakable warrior.
Unbreakable Garrosh. Yes.
Content.
1000 HP. 1000 armor.
Cannot be stopped.
Hopefully it's not so good that becomes like the control meta deck, because that sounds like just like awful. Because then if you do run that package, even weapon removal doesn't actually cure it. Now that I'm thinking about it.
The Demon Hunter and Draco is coming out right now.
Yeah, because even if I ran if I ran an ooze, then that thing still brings it back. So I don't have I don't have 3 oozes. You know what I mean? Like it's literally impossible to attack against.
Well, that's why you gotta play Highlander, so then you have a second ooze.
Yeah.
Just play Brewmaster.
The Brewmaster, the ooze. God.
The Harrison.
Yeah, I think if it sounds degenerate, then it might be something good. So maybe Control Warrior does have a really annoying variant that gets to.
I don't think it's insane. I think it's good though. Yeah. I mean, if you do swing with it, it takes up 2 durability if you're hitting into a minion. So it's not insanely good, but I think overall, yeah, it's a really good card, and I will be excited to play it with Control Warrior as well. I used to be a Control Warrior guy back in the day when it was Karen Bloodhoof in there. When you used to run like 12 legendaries in that deck. I had an all golden version of that deck, and it was
holy moly
beautiful. I brought it to a tournament, and like all the casters were like going crazy over it, like, oh my god, this guy's deck is so beautiful. Yeah. Well, they didn't know it was that I was really broke because of that, but nobody has to know except for you guys that are watching the podcast. You are lucky. This is insider information. But yeah, the decks that I'm most excited about, I mean, everybody's going to say Demon Hunter. It's a new class. If you've been playing Hearthstone all these years, like a new class being introduced to the game, you have to play it first. It's going to be so exciting. So I've been wanting to play Highlander Demon Hunter. I mean, I love Highlander decks. They're so much fun. But I've heard that people were already making Highlander Demon Hunter during like the early access thing.
I think it's the best variant. I think it's going to be the best one.
Yeah, and that was my idea, and now it's out there for the world, and I didn't even do it yet.
It's only DMoney's idea.
Are you telling me people played with these cards before?
Apparently.
Before anybody else? Are you telling me there's decks out there that are already finished and refined before it even released?
This is coming full circle.
Is this what you're telling me?
Yeah, it's the free decks that you get. That's what it is.
Yeah.
How is there no free deck for? There should be a free deck for Demon. I mean, I guess you
technically it is, right?
Yeah,
every card is free. You get all of the free,
except the Outlands ones, because Blizzard's got to make money. Oh, full circle again.
Yeah, but after I played Demon Hunter, Murloc Paladin is definitely going to be shining. I'm so excited to play with that new Murloc card. It's gonna be great.
I think it's auto include in like every Paladin deck.
Yes.
It's such a bomb.
I mean, also they got the new weapon, which is really cool. That's the first time we've seen a Murloc-inspired weapon, I believe.
I really like
and
the rogue secret package. That's been something I've been very interested in. Like I
that'll be
really
fun.
like the blackjack stunner, the targeted the targeted freezing trap. I like that. I think that seems super punishing and exciting. Oh yeah.
I don't know about exciting. Seems a little uninteractive at times, but just removing one of the minions from play for the rest of the game.
Well, if you run secrets and you run stealth cards, it is interactive entirely because then they can't remove the stealth minions. You're freezing things
Yeah.
back in their hand. It sounds kind of fun, even though really degenerate.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of there's a lot of different ways that you could go about building these decks, which is very exciting. I mean, Control Priest is looking a lot of fun, like a lot of fun for me as well. That's
I like
about
their
it.
prime. I know that's not like a really popular one.
I
but
like it as well. I think it's actually one of the better ones.
Me too. Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
We agree on
Question. Question about the primes.
Mhm.
So the primes, it's a death rattle, correct?
that. Yes.
Yes.
And they recently
sh-
just took out a silence neutral,
Mhm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Silence is gonna be good.
Spellbreaker. Yeah.
Silence is going to be good, yes. Also, something like Shadow Madness. Somebody brought that up in my chat the other day. You can use
Ooh.
Shadow Madness on all the primes, so that's very nice.
That's actually a really good, helpful thing for Priest if any of those primes do become super meta,
Mhm.
because they can steal them.
Which they should.
At least one of them is going to be like a very big impacting card. The warrior one seems insane. With you get 8 damage. You get like every time you attack. You get 8 armor every time you attack with it, or something.
10 armor.
10 armor, yeah, and it has rush.
It's if you kill a minion, I believe.
It's like a big boy though, so it kills shit. Like it kills stuff. So yeah, that one seems cool. Yeah, I don't know. That's a really good point. Shadow Madness being cheaper and being able to target any of the primes does give Priest a little bit of advantage.
You just gave me a content idea. Primed for Madness Priest. Thank you, DMoney.
Primed for.
That's what this podcast is actually all about. We're just
Giving
Warshack
Warshack
not
vibes.
paying attention.
Feed me.
Oh yeah.
No, but it's gonna be a good one. Yeah, I'm gonna be making so many decks. If they gave us more deck slots, then I'll be able to make even more for it. Because like I usually like to make 2 decks for each class, and now that we have 10 classes, now that's 20 decks, and I don't have room for it, so it kind of sucks. I'll have to cut something else, but yeah, a lot of things to explore.
Yeah, there is a silence in Demon Hunter. Just something to
Yeah.
say. They have their own. Interesting. Just realized that. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean everything's getting closer, right? There's a week left ish.
One more week.
We just got to survive until then.
So our
Yeah.
next podcast on Sunday is going to be literally right before it comes out.
Oof. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Interesting
I
stuff.
mean, then we could talk about the exciting stuff that's coming up the next day and all that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
people are going to have stuff planned. I mean,
We'll
I'm sure
definitely-
we're all planning our own extravaganza, you know?
Yeah. If any of you guys in chat ever have any good ideas for this and stuff, we're always looking to improve it. So.
Yep. So I think we're just at time now. So if there's any questions in chat that any of you guys picked up on that we can answer, or if you have any questions you'd like to ask us about anything we've discussed today, now is the time.
It's the moment.
To do that. And yeah.
I actually do have a question. I don't know if you guys have any questions that you've gotten over the course of the stream.
I've obtained 0.
Okay. Well, this one was actually directed towards you. It was added at you, but I
Oh.
got it here.
Okay.
Sick.
Lay it
It
on.
comes from King T-Bell. It says, do you think the meta is going to be more control-oriented or aggro-oriented with Demon Hunter changing the meta with the card rotation?
That's a good question.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting because there's going to be... Yeah, go ahead, Warshack. Do it.
So, normally, when an expansion gets released, the most prominent, powerful, best decks to play. For all of you who's going to ask me on day one, hey, Rob, what's the best deck to play? Aggro and more aggressive style decks normally take the forefront. And this is because the control decks need more time to develop in the later stages and be able to hold off the aggression. And people, it's harder to kind of be able to do that in the first stages of an expansion rather than building, like, we know what an aggro card looks like. We know what face damage looks like. And, you know, a lot of control decks in the earlier stages, it's hard to build that correctly. So most of the time we've seen aggro decks and tempo decks take the forefront for at least a week or two. And then control decks start, more refined lists come up, and then they can actually combat these more aggressive style decks efficiently. But yeah, I think tempo and aggro decks are going to be good, the better ones to build at the start. And then as we, you know, make our way through the expansion cycle, the control decks will hold their own.
I think it's a good point. Yeah. Well said, Rob.
Very good point. Yeah, that was good. I mean, of course, with Demon Hunter being the new class, I think everybody and their mom is going to be playing it. So we're going to see so much aggro. It's going to be overwhelming. I think it's going to be overwhelmingly aggressive.
Sound like me.
Thank you. So I think that control decks will do well. And then once people start seeing how good the control decks are doing, then they'll switch over to control, and then it'll maybe be like a 50-50. But yeah, I think it's going to start off very aggressive. Definitely.
Yeah, the control decks that'll be successful will probably be the previously refined ones, like the Highlander control warriors and stuff like that. They'll probably reap some benefits out of the whole situation. But the new control decks like Demon Hunter and stuff are probably just going to die in the beginning stages.
Oh, yeah.
But
They're going to get slaughtered out there.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will be part of that pact.
Yeah, I mean, it also depends on what rank you're at. I mean, everyone's going to start at the rank 10 bronze, but that's only gonna the expansion comes out 7 days after the expansion starts, so or 7 days before the expansion comes out. I don't remember where I was going with this.
Do you think we're going to have one playable deck for every class like now? Well, that depends if you think that Shaman counts for that question. Usually it's impossible to have them all work. I mean, there's been rare moments in the metas of history that every single card has a viable like tier 1 or 2 deck. But
you don't think Shaman's going to be good?
I don't know. I
think every deck there will be at least one decent deck for each class.
Yeah.
I mean, right now we have it. I mean, in my opinion, Aggro Shaman,
is
the
good,
one that runs the Overload guys, the guy recently hit rank 1 legend with a list of using an Aggro Shaman list. Granted, you know, not everybody can replicate that because that's why you don't see it. It's obviously a fairly in my experience, the decks that are harder to pilot and are really good, even though they're really good, people don't play them. And right now, I think Aggro Shaman is one of them. I think it goes under the radar. I think it's a fantastic deck. People can hit rank 1 legend with it. It's a good deck, but you don't see it because it's a hard deck.
A lot of predicting your opponent's removal and playing around that in really minor ways, right?
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to do.
And the Overload and the Spirit of the Frog. Sorry.
I think Shaman got a lot of good cards, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's good. I just don't know what direction people are going to go with it yet. But I mean, we saw. I don't know what Funky has there, but I could see a token Shaman being pretty powerful. I could see either Highlander or some kind of control Shaman. Like there's a lot of new tools that they got. They have like a 2-mana Flame Lance now. It's pretty crazy the things that they got actually.
Yeah, so it looks like Funky.
Will it be enough? Will they work together? That's the question.
Yeah, that looks like a pretty solid quest Shaman list that has the Evolve package in there. I don't know if I would keep the Explosive Evolution. That's a little bit of a weaker card. Same kind of the Bat Rider is very underrated. It's good in Quest Shaman, and I think the Bogspine Knuckles, the new Evolve card, aren't going to be probably as good as just the 3-mana crab. because it just gets it out earlier. I feel like waiting till turn 5 to equip a weapon and then do the evolve, it's going to be a little bit predictable for people to play around.
You get it off on turn 5. It's once you attack with it, you get it. Yeah.
Evolve effects were usually most powerful in the past when they were done very
cheaply.
Very efficiently, very cheaply, and right when they were done. I feel like a 5-mana setup isn't something we've ever seen before. Like Mutate worked because we were slapping it on a Mogu Flesh Shaper right after we're throwing it out. But
yeah, it's a bit different because you actually have to have the board first.
Yeah.
And then
And in the old evolve meta, people played around that. Like if you put 3 hairs out before you got the evolve, then you're be like, all right, no, time to lose all these things before you. I don't know.
Agreed.
I don't know.
But I think maybe they have enough tools to keep that board at the beginning now. I'm not sure though.
Well, my take on it is it's you're obviously going to want to build a board before it, right? So like if you have a board and you use it, it's good. But if you're just wanting to like play this weapon and you want to clear a minion, you don't have a board, it feels terrible, right? So attacking with this with no cards is bad. And to me, this just looks to like a win more. That's all this card reads to me.
Is
you're
it
paying 5
too
mana.
bad though?
At 4 mana, it's too good. I can tell you that. This is a weird card where at one, like the line of it being too good and not good enough is they're very, very close to each other.
I'm saying, is it even too bad to swing with it if you have no board? It's not horrible. It's 4 attack is actually decent, I think.
4 mana 4/2 on a 4-cost weapon is something that has been highly successful in the past. 5 mana 4/2 is something that's not.
It's definitely worse than what you want, but I think actually swinging for 4 is not the worst thing.
Yeah.
And then you could develop your board next turn and still be okay.
I like 8 damage for 4. I'm meh about it for 5. But
I don't think it's not mainly about the damage though. I think that's just like a bonus in my opinion.
Yeah. That's the effect.
What if it was a 2/3?
A 2/3?
Yeah, more durability. You're playing this for the effect, right? Not necessarily the attack. I don't know. Sorry, I'm just getting into this. I my bad. I just look at this card. I'm like, how can we make it fair? And right now, it just doesn't look that exciting to me. But we'll see, right? We'll know in a couple days.
When you lose to it, we'll hear about it on the podcast. All right.
Yeah, but I guess we probably don't want to go too far over since we tend to do that. We're just answering questions and talking about stuff because that's what we do. But
okay, well, we'll wrap up then. Appreciate all you guys hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed our second podcast. Remember, another one was going to be next week. It'll be available on YouTube, even though you guys here probably won't watch it again, but it'll be available on YouTube. And
but you should.
Yeah, make sure to give it a like. And the Metabreakers YouTube channel is different; it's its own thing. So if you guys want to link that in the comment section or the chat, so people in chat can go to it. Also, for those of you who are, again, we covered Funky Monkey's decks. If you're going to go and check out his stuff on Reddit, leave a comment saying the Metabreakers sent you. That'd be really cool. It helps us get our name out there. Anybody in the comment section, which is a pretty popular post, is going to see that and search it. Yeah, but thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all being cool. Thanks for keeping us busy in chat, writing good shit, and being a bunch of awesome people. My bot just shot you. Okay.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, maybe we didn't get to your question, or maybe you have other questions later on. If you want to post that in under the episode on YouTube in one of the comments, then we may be answering that next time. If we find a good question, we might answer that for the next podcast. Just something to keep in mind.
Absolutely. But thanks again for being here, everyone, and hanging out with us during these. It's really fun.
Yep.
So
cool.
It was a good time. I hope everybody stays safe.
Yeah. And I'll be streaming after this, guys. I'm not getting off. So if you're leaving, you've done me dirty. Oh shit. All right. Thanks guys for doing this and had a good time again.
Cool. I'll see you later. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you all next week. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Later,
it was a
Gators.
good episode. See you guys. Have a good stream.
Thank you.